Hey, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan. So I'm sure many of you guys saw Joaquin Phoenix give that amazing speech at the Oscars advocating for the rights of animals, particularly dairy animals, and no surprise, the dairy industry got upset and made some absurd comments about his speech, and I made a response video, so please check that out if you haven't already. I'll put a link in a card up above and in the show notes down below. But what's even more interesting and a bit more surprising is now that the meat industry is up in arms about Joaquin Phoenix's speech, saying that beef farmers in Great Britain have been attacked personally, that they're victims, and their feelings are hurt. The National Farmers Union, which is a meat industry trade group in Great Britain, said that Joaquin Phoenix and all other vegan celebrities for that matter have played a part in demonizing the UK's meat producers and doing, quote, enormous damage to their well-being. Celebrities have to be careful. There are real-life consequences for others. And she said Joaquin has had a really challenging life, but he's got to remember there are people at the end of this. There are small family farms and they get hurt too. Let's just point out how absurd their complaint is right off the bat, because Joaquin didn't really call out the meat industry as much as he should have. He spent most of his time describing the horrors of the dairy industry.
We feel entitled to artificially inseminate a cow, and when she gives birth, we steal her baby, even though her cries of anguish are unmistakable. And then we take her milk that's intended for a calf, and we put it in our coffee and our cereal.
So I have no idea why that would upset cattle ranchers and the like, but maybe comments like this upset them.
We're talking about the fight against the belief that one nation, one people, one race, one gender, or one species has the right to dominate, control, and use and exploit another with impunity.
So that was pretty much the only thing Joaquin said in his speech that could be twisted and construed to mean that he's attacking the beef farmers, let alone the beef farmers of Great Britain. In fact, you'll see here, they feel like they're the ones who are the victims who have no voice. Check this out. I can't make this up. That beef industry president spokesperson says, I have never seen farmers so upset. They feel victims. Like, really? They're the victims, not the animals that they're exploiting and killing. And they feel like they haven't got a voice. Really? It's not the animals that are voiceless? They wanted to stop. Yeah, I'm sure the animals wanted to stop. We're all humans. We've got to be kind. We've got to look out for each other. Oh, really, farmers? So you really want us, vegans, to believe that you guys are the victims in this scenario? Let's just kind of look at this from a more macro perspective. I mean, who's doing the exploiting? Who's doing the harm? Who's doing the killing? It's the farmers here. Vegans aren't attacking British dairy farmers. We might be calling out their immoral actions, and it's immoral to exploit and kill animals needlessly for food, profit, and for clothing, whatever, because it's absolutely, completely 100% unnecessary to consume animal products in order to be a thriving human. That definition I just showed there of veganism was from the Vegan Society, and they had this to say about the upset British beef farmers. He says, we don't want conflict with farmers. We are keen to collaborate and advocate for policies that help farmers transition to a more sustainable and compassionate system. Consumer demand for plant-based food is rising rapidly, which represents an opportunity for British farmers, and we want to see them benefit. Yeah, these industries are immoral and need to end. And what the Vegan Society is adding to that, but that doesn't mean that their workers and owners are just flat out of a job. So they can transition what they do on their farms to grow crops, because as the Vegan Society points out there, the increased demand of plant-based food presents some enormous opportunities that they could try to cash in on. Furthermore, the Vegan Society called out this meat industry trade group for being a bunch of complainers. The Vegan Society questioned whether its members, I assume they're talking about vegan influencers like Joaquin Phoenix, were really so influential, pointing out that there's only 600,000 vegans in the United Kingdom, and saying the fact is 99% of the population, here I think they're talking about the overall general population, are still eating animal products. There might be a lot more meat reducers, but this is not an industry that has been threatened by veganism. It is a fact that many people are now going vegan, or at least reducing their meat consumption because of the horrible effects of animal agriculture on the environment, particularly with regards to greenhouse gas emissions. So the United Kingdom's government has recommended that its people reduce their meat consumption by 20% because of the lower carbon footprint of plant-based diets. However, this UK meat industry president denies this. She says, you don't deal with climate change by saying take meat out, go to plant-based, because there's just as much unsustainable plant-based as there ever is meat. Oh, really? Can you provide some specifics here? Notice how she's being very vague in general. And now we've entered into the realm of science rather than morality, which we were talking about earlier. We can actually fact check this claim and see if she's full of crap or not. First of all, you can read reports from the United Nations and other governmental agencies showing how animal agriculture is responsible for more greenhouse gas emissions than transportation. It's the #1 source. And it gets even worse once you factor in methane, which comes from cow farts. And remember how she was denying the absurd idea that reducing your meat consumption and eating more plants would help fight climate change? Well, if you look at the United Nations IPCC Climate Change Committee, where they examined the impact of greenhouse gas emissions when following a variety of diets, look up here on the top, which diet was the most effective at reducing greenhouse gas emissions. It was a diet that's completely devoid of all animal products, a vegan diet. And it got worse and worse and worse as you started adding more animal products into the diet. And I'm completely mystified by what she's trying to hint at about this unsustainable plant food that's being grown. I mean, what is she talking about? I mean, there's all this unsustainable plant food that's being grown specifically to feed animals, which could feed 10 times more humans if we just ate those plants ourselves. Perhaps she's talking about vegan junk food. The only study I know of measuring the environmental impact of vegan junk food is this study that was done by the University of Michigan comparing how much resources are required to grow a beef burger versus a Beyond Burger. So versus a traditional beef burger, the plant-based Beyond Burger requires 99% less water, 93% less land, 90% fewer greenhouse gas emissions, and 46% less energy. So once again, more anti-vegan nonsense, just more making stuff up. Here you have a meat industry trade group saying it's better for the planet, better for greenhouse gas emissions if we were to all eat meat rather than eating a vegan diet. Again, show me the science. I could have pulled out another several dozen studies showing that plant-based diets are better for the environment as far as greenhouse gas emissions are concerned than eating any other diet. So please, I'm waiting. Show me your studies. I know it's not going to happen, but yeah, you guys feel very comfortable going out on record, making a press release, speaking very authoritatively about climate change when you don't have any science to back it up. You're just making stuff up. You're lying to people. And you're lying about Joaquin Phoenix. He's not harming your farmers. He's not making them feel bad and feel threatened or anything like that. He's just calling out an immoral industry for what it is and suggesting that people look into other options. And that's how life is. That's how business works. And you can adapt to the new changing world of plant-based diets. So don't blame your problems on Joaquin Phoenix or vegan influencers or what have you. Just take a look at what you guys are doing and see how you can adapt to a changing world.
Use love and compassion as our guiding principles. We can create, develop, and implement systems of change that are beneficial to all sentient beings and to the environment.
Leave your questions, comments down below, guys. What did you guys think about these attacks on Joaquin Phoenix from the dairy industry and now the meat industry? And what did you think about his speech if you didn't tell me last time? So comment down below, hit like, share this video, and until next time, guys, remember, let's keep it carved.